guys, this is the intro to the video. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. It's going to be about the 2025 recap and 2026 goals. So let's get right into the 2025 recap. Let's go. Bam. Look at. Ow! Bro. Happy birthday. What is that, a rat? There's no one. What's yours? No, please. His head there.
Crazy. Yeah, I may like. Returning character, returning. Quack, quack, quack.
Hi, Maggie.
Back on the vlog. I'm way better than her.
Okay. Bam. Pitch, yes.
You want these in it?
This is what they look like. And this is the new
I'm looking busy. Yeah, I think it was you. Hey, you're boring.
I just fell off the face. Sweet frog, pottery. Oh. Really good. Got your neck, boy. Hi, Bob. My clothes are packed in here. My side of the room. Are you the bouncing? No one in the classroom.
Let's try.
I did. I like these. Big. Good morning, vlog. Oh my gosh, I'm in another one of Maggie's vlogs, guys. I haven't been in her vlog for so long because she's been like off at college or whatever. Can I say good morning?
Good morning.
Do you know what you want?
That lace chocolate donut like is calling my name.
Okay. We're
at Dunkin'. What are you about to get?
Make 6, 7 donuts.
Like actually,
No.
when you
Remember when he
get
got 50 munchkins?
he got the basket.
I'll probably
Insert
get-
picture right here of him with his little munchkins basket. I have that
probably
saved as a
get-
sticker.
I'll probably get two donuts, then I'll probably get a drink. Is a latte?
A latte? Yeah. You liked my lattes, right?
What is the thing that I had when I went to the frickin' hotel? Do they
It
have
was
that
like
here?
the Dunkin' latte.
What are you talking about?
The thing that you told me to make when I went to the hotel. Really, really,
Oh,
really
a mocha?
Yeah. Do they have that?
They have a peppermint mocha. I'm good. How are you? Can I please get a medium iced latte with oat milk, and then an order of the snack and bacon? Oh, get that one. The white chocolate.
Can I get the toasted white chocolate ice signature latte, strawberry frosted with sprinkles, and then a frosted cream?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Look, I flew past today.
Taste test.
Did you get a Dunkin'?
Is it good? It's just a plain latte. I know.
It's got a boring color.
It's so yummy.
Want to try it?
I can't.
My
freaking
drink.
Hello again, vlog. It is now 8:54 a.m. I dropped off Max and Sophia at school around like 7:40, and then I came home. I was talking to my parents for a while, and then I just showered, and I'm about to do my makeup, and then I'm going to kind of get into the first talking portion of this video. So I'm gonna give a formal welcome to the video. Welcome to my channel if you're new, or welcome back if you're not new. In this video, I'm basically going to be giving a recap of my 2025 and kind of like the takeaways that I've taken away from 2025. I don't really know how to phrase that, but and then I'm going to be talking about my 2026 and how I'm kind of going to plan my goals for 2026. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm also kind of trying to do like a vlog style to this video as well. I don't know how much I'm actually going to be able to end up vlogging. I don't have a lot going on today. I mean, I have things that I'm doing today, but not a lot of it is like vloggable. I mean, that's a lie. Actually, I have a doctor's appointment at 10:30, so I'll be leaving for that around like 10, so I have like an hour and a half, or an hour actually before that, which gives me just enough time to finish getting ready and then film the talking portion of this video. And then I'll go to my doctor's appointment. My mom and I think are going to go to a store to look for something, and then I'm gonna come back, probably film more talking for the video, and then I will go over to Mia's house. We're gonna go to TJ Maxx, and then there's like a party get together kind of thing at Mia's house tonight with just some people from work. We're doing a favorite things party. So I don't know if you guys have seen on TikTok or anything the favorite things parties, but instead of doing like a white elephant or like a Secret Santa or something, basically everybody brings a bunch of their favorite things, and we have I think 7 people in total, so we're bringing 7 things, or maybe there's 8 people, I don't know. We're bringing 7 things, I know that much. But I'm gonna go to TJ Maxx to get my thing. Mine is going to be TJ Maxx bags because they're so cute and I just love them, and they are one of my favorite things, so it fits, and I know that everyone will like get use out of them because who doesn't need a TJ Maxx bag? I literally used like 8 of them when I was moving into college, so that's what I'm getting everybody, and I'm actually really excited to see what everybody else brings. But yeah, so that's tonight, and then I'm spending the night at Mia's house. So yeah, that's about it. I am going to go fill up my water bottle, and then we'll film the sit down portion of this video. So I'll see you in a minute. Hello, I'm back and ready to start talking about 2025. So I know at the beginning of this video I did like a recap of 2025 where I put in a bunch of clips and everything from this year, but I wanted to do kind of a more in-depth recap of 2025 and kind of talk about the things that I've taken away and learned from 2025. And while this is the things that I've learned from 2025, I feel like they're all kind of like things that can be applied to anyone. First off, I just want to talk about how at the beginning of this year I posted a YouTube video literally on January 1st, I'm pretty sure, and I talked about how I was not going to set unreasonable goals for myself. I was kind of going to go about my goals my own way, and I was going to take things slow and do everything at my own pace. and I didn't really do that. I set really unreasonable goals for myself, like crazy, unreachable, unsustainable goals that I knew in the back of my mind I wouldn't really achieve, but I set them anyways, even though that's literally what I was talking about in the video that you shouldn't do. So that's a little ironic, but because I started with such unreasonable goals, I didn't achieve them, obviously, and because of that, I got really discouraged that I didn't achieve the goals. Like when I was doing my 2025 reflection recently, I looked back at my goals and I was like, well, I haven't done any of these. It made me feel a little bit discouraged, but I also knew that they were really like unreasonable goals, and especially with everything that I was already doing. And at the beginning of the year, I was a senior in high school and now I'm a freshman in college, and I just didn't have enough time to do any of the things that I actually said I wanted to do. But despite that, I still did achieve a lot this year, and I learned a lot this year. I had a lot of firsts this year and I had a lot of lasts this year. Obviously, like I said, it was my last semester of high school and it was also my first semester of college this year. So there was a lot of different emotions that happened this year. Sorry, I'm really congested. I need to blow my nose. Okay, I'm back. I feel better now. Sorry. But like I was saying, I had a lot of lasts this year, which in some aspects was very good. There were a lot of lasts that I was like, thank God I would never do this again. But there were a lot that I was very sad about. And it's very, when you're a senior in high school, there's a lot of things that you don't think you're going to miss, but you do end up really missing. And I learned that a lot this year because there are a lot of things that I did in high school, or things that you don't realize are benefits of being in high school that you realize once you leave. But I'll get more into that later on. But because of that, it was a very emotional year, but that also meant that there was a lot of room for growth, and there was a lot of growth that did happen this year. So I'm very grateful for that. And I'm glad that this year went the way it did. I feel like it's so easy to be so caught up in all of the bad things that happen in a year and be stuck in the mindset that like, oh, this year was terrible and there's nothing good that came out of this year. But it is really easy to fall into that mindset, but it's really important sometimes that you look for the good. And that can be hard for a lot of people because it's oftentimes easier to focus on the bad than to focus on the good. But if you look back at your year and you think, wow, this year was terrible, it's 365 days. There's going to be some good, at least a little bit in your year. So try not to, when you're looking back on 2025, like focus on all the bad and try to look for the good as well that happened in this year, because thinking of your year as terrible is just going to make you resent the past, and that's not a good thing to do. So with that being said, I'm going to talk about first up the questions that I asked myself to kind of reflect on my 2025. Like I said earlier, I did a reflection and I kind of asked myself a bunch of questions to kind of guide myself through my reflection. And yeah, so I'm going to talk about all the questions that I answered. It's really not that many, but it just takes like a half an hour to sit down and do it. And it might be tedious, but it really does help. And I learned a lot more from it than I thought I was going to, because I didn't want to do it. I just like something about it, like I just didn't want to. I don't know why. I think it's just because reflecting kind of makes me sad sometimes, especially this year with all of the emotions that happened this year. But I'm really glad that I did it now that I'm looking back. So first up, I asked myself, what were my 2025 goals? And this is where I kind of realized that my 2025 goals were insane. So I listed all of my goals. I had so many goals and they were all like insane. Like I could not do this as a senior in high school. I don't know what I was thinking, but it helped me remember what my goals were. So I wrote down my 2025 goals and then I asked myself what worked. And this doesn't have to be that specific. It can literally be like, which of your goals like set in, like what actually worked that you wanted to work on. Next question is what didn't work. And this is basically the same thing. Which one of your goals or which goals didn't really work out the way that you planned. And by the way, it's okay to be like nothing or like everything. Cause like for what worked, I literally said nothing because none of my goals actually set in because all of them were unreasonable. But I know that they were all unreasonable, so I'm not like upset at the fact that none of them really set in or worked. The next question is, what can I optimize so I don't make the same mistakes? So for example, for me, I basically said to set more reasonable goals and think about the goals that I'm setting before I set them, because you can't just set goals to set goals. That's not going to work and you're going to disappoint yourself in the future. So next question is, where am I now compared to last year? And this one can be really hard to answer just because you have to think about who you were last year at this time, who you are now, and it can take a little bit of more deep thought, but it's really beneficial. So all these questions are going to be a little bit difficult to answer sometimes, but it's really important that you be real with yourself when you're answering these questions and you actually put in the effort to answer the questions, because if you don't, then you're just wasting your time. The next question is, when did I stop working on my goals and what triggered me to stop? And so this kind of helps you just realize what doesn't help you achieve your goals. What's stopping you from achieving your goals? That's really the goal of answering this question. The next question is, what have I achieved? And this question really is what locked in the fact that I achieved so much this year. I have a lot to be proud of myself for this year. And when I say what have I achieved, it doesn't just have to be your major accomplishments. It can be like, I learned that friendships are so valuable. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be something that you won or something, an award that you received. It can literally be that you learned something valuable, because that is achieving something. So really think about what you've achieved and what you've learned from this year when you're answering that question. The next question is, what made me enjoy work? And when I say work, I mean like anything that you're doing. It doesn't necessarily mean like your job. I mean, it can mean your job, but it means anything that you're doing to work on yourself and better yourself. And it can really be as simple as like playing music while I was doing my chores, like stuff like that. Like, think about what made you enjoy your time. The next question is, what habits worked? Even if you don't think that you achieved any goals, there might be some habits that you've picked up that are good from this year. So just talk about those, think about those. And then the last question is, what have I not achieved? And this isn't necessarily meant to be, it's not trying to put yourself down. It's just trying to kind of give you a baseline of what you haven't reached yet. There's always going to be something that you haven't achieved, no matter what. If you always focus on what you haven't achieved, you're never going to be happy, because you're never going to actually realize that you are achieving something. That didn't make any sense, did it? I really hope that made sense. I kind of got distracted halfway through what I was just saying. But don't focus too much on what you haven't achieved. Even though I'm asking you this question, or you're asking yourself this question, what have I not achieved? Don't focus on too much of what you haven't achieved. This question is really just to get a baseline of, what do you want to achieve in 2026, or what do you want to achieve going forward? After I asked myself those questions, I kind of went through each month and I wrote down a few highlights of the month and what like things that I did, things that I achieved, things that went terrible, things that went good. Basically, the goal of this like monthly reflection is kind of to just see where you were at each month in your life and see the different things that you achieved or you did or whatever in each month, just to kind of give you a baseline of what you actually did do in 2025. So now I'm actually going to get into the takeaways that I've had from 2025. Every year on TikTok for the past few years, I've posted a slideshow of a bunch of lessons that I've learned from the year. 2025 one, I think I'm going to post it today. So when you're watching this video, it will have been posted before this video comes out. So you can go to my TikTok and look at that video on there. But I'm going to basically just talk about the things that I've taken away from 2025 and things that I've learned in my experiences this year that can kind of be applied to anyone. The first one is that your worth is not determined by others. I've had many times this year where I've let others determine my worth, and that is such an unhealthy thing to do, I've realized. But the issue is that it's so easy to do. So I feel like that's why a lot of us get into really bad habits of letting others determine our worth. But the truth is that you are so much more than what other people make you think you are. You cannot let other people who are not you tell you what you're worth, because they don't know. So that's really one of my biggest key takeaways, is that others cannot determine your worth, because you are the only person who knows yourself the best, and you can't let somebody else tell you what you're worth, because they just don't know. Next one is that we're all growing at our own pace. This one has been really hard for me to learn, just because I have a very competitive mindset sometimes, and it's really hard to kind of like quiet in your head when you're competitive in a certain aspect and there are people that are doing better than you, or there are people that are further than you. It's really hard to talk yourself down and be like, it's okay, like we're all going at our own pace. Like, I will get there someday. I'm not there today, and that's okay. We all grow at our own pace, and we all do things at our own pace. People are at different stages in their life. There's people who are going through different things than you. There are people who have had different life experiences than you, and because of that, we all have different perspectives on life, and we all grow in different ways and at different times. So basically, key takeaway is everyone goes at their own pace, and you shouldn't compare yourself to other people and where they're at, because comparison is the thief of joy. The next one is that it's everyone else's first time living too. This one is also hard for me to learn, just because it kind of goes with the last one, is that everyone's growing at their own pace, and because of that, there are some people that if you've learned something, they haven't learned it yet, and that's just how life works. That's just how it goes, is that everybody learns things things at different times, obviously, and you have to remember that it's everyone else's first time living too, and if they haven't learned something, it's okay, and you have to give them patience, which is really hard sometimes, but it's really important to know because it helps you be more understanding of the people around you and people's situations around you as well. The next thing that I've taken away is how important quality over quantity is in friendships. I used to get so upset that I wouldn't have that many friends when that's literally not true, number one. And number two, having 50 friends that are all fake, none of them really hold you as a high priority versus having like 5 friends that make you a priority and they all actually value your friendship. The 5 is much better than the 50. I think it's really easy to fall into the, oh, I need to have a lot of friends because then that means that people like me. But that's really not the case, because if you have a bunch of friends and none of them actually like you, then you really have no friends. So it's much better to have a smaller group of people that actually love you and you love them and you have really good, strong friendships than to have a bunch of like not strong friendships, is basically what I'm saying. The next thing, and this is such a big one, and I'm so glad that I learned this year, is that there is life after high school. For those of you who are still in high school, because I know that some of my friends watch this and you're in high school still, if you're struggling, if you're miserable, trust me, it will get better. It could be a long ways away for you, especially if you're like a freshman or a sophomore or whatever, but especially for those that are seniors in high school that are watching this, it will get better. I promise you. And if you're doing great in high school, that's amazing. That's great. And I'm happy for you. But if you're not, if you're struggling in high school, trust me, things will get better after high school. I really saw such an uptick in my mental health once high school was over. It's actually crazy. There is life after high school, long story short, and it's a good life after high school. The next thing is that I've learned that it's my decision whether I enjoy things or not. There are a lot of times where I'll go to things and I'll be like, this is not going to be fun. It's so boring. Like this is not going to be good at all. And going into it with that mindset, of course I'm not going to have fun. Of course I'm not going to enjoy myself. But if you go into it with a mindset, an open mind, and the thought process, well, maybe it'll be fun. Maybe I will enjoy myself. That's really the difference in whether you do enjoy it or not. Because even if something is boring, if you have a fun attitude or a good attitude about it, you can make it fun and you can make it enjoyable. So it really is up to you to determine whether you enjoy something or not. The next lesson I learned is one that I really want to elaborate on because it can sound kind of like rude if I just say it, but it's that no one cares about you. And when I say this, I feel like we all have this thought process that, oh, what'll this person think of me if I wear this today? Or what will these people think of me if I say this? Or if I do this, what will this person think of me? What will this person see me as? How will this affect how I look to other people? The fact of the matter is, everybody's thinking that. Everybody's thinking about themselves. Everybody's thinking about how they are affecting other people, how other people see them. Because of that, nobody is really as focused on you as you think they are. I've had so many instances where people were like, did you see me mess up? And I'm like, I literally have no idea what you're talking about. I didn't even notice that you messed up. And that person was probably so focused on the fact that, oh my gosh, I messed up. Like, that was so embarrassing. I probably look so stupid up there. And I'm like, I literally could not tell you where you messed up. Like, I couldn't even notice. I didn't even notice. But because you know that you messed up, that's what you're going to focus on. But the fact of the matter is, no one cares about you as much as you think they do. Just live your life the way that you want to, because no one's as focused on you as you think they are. And if they are, then it's not about you. The next one is a really big one, and a really one that I've learned a lot this year. I wrote this. I said, it's a blessing to have so many people to miss, and I'm so lucky to have friendships that make me emotional to think about leaving. All of my friends mean so much to me. Of course, I always knew that, but in leaving high school and in leaving your hometown, it really puts into perspective how valuable your friendships are. It's really just a blessing, like I said, to have so many people to miss, because that really shows you how good of friends you have or how strong of a connection you have with these people. And the fact that my friends are so close to me, and I'm so, like, my relationships with my friends are so strong to the point where I cry when I think about not seeing them every day at school. Like, that, I'm so lucky to have that, because that's how I know that I have such good friendships with these people. I mean, I guess that doesn't need that much explaining, but that's basically one of my key takeaways from this year, especially with leaving high school, leaving my hometown, and going to college. That's just such a big thing that I've learned from this year. Water break. The next one that I've learned is that there is beauty even in the mundane. This kind of ties into the, like, you determine whether you enjoy something or not. If you look for the beauty in your everyday life, you're going to find it, and you're going to make your everyday life more magical. I really don't know how else to put it. I don't know how really to say this because I feel like this is kind of like pretty straightforward, but literally everything around you, you can find beauty in if you look for it. If you look hard enough, you can find beauty in everything that surrounds you in your everyday life, and it really just takes you looking for it for you to find it. The next one is you will find your people. This is also another thing that I've learned because of everything that's happened this year with me graduating and me going to school. At the end of senior year, you really find who you connect with the most and who your people really are, especially when you go into the summer and you go away to school. The people that you still keep in contact with, it really just shows you who you have good connections with. And then when you go off to school, especially for me, I literally knew no one at the college that I was going to. So it was kind of scary to go and not know anybody. But the fact of the matter is you will find your people. It might take a little while, but you will find your people. And that's just, yeah. You'll find your people. That's basically it. The next one, and we're almost done, there's only one more after this, is to look for the lessons in the hardships. It's so easy to, when you're going through something hard, just completely focus on the bad. And I talked about this a little bit earlier. The more you focus on the bad, the more you're going to see the bad. If you look for a lesson or a takeaway in something bad, then it's going to make you value it more, if that makes sense. I don't really know an example to give for this one, just because like all of my examples are personal, but to put it in simple terms, if you're going through something hard, it's really easy to focus on the bad, obviously. If you focus on kind of what you can take away from it, what you can learn from it, it really helps you look at whatever is going on in a different perspective and realize that it's happening for a reason. It's happening to teach you a lesson, because I am a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. Everything is a part of God's plan for you, and He wouldn't give you hardships without there being a lesson or something to learn from behind it, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's a big one that I've learned this year. And a lot of these lessons that I've learned were from hardships. So there's proof that there is a lesson in a lot of hardships. And the last one is that I'm so loved and I'm so full of love. I feel like it's really easy to focus on the people that don't like you, or the people that don't show you attention, or the people that don't show you love, when there are so many people that show you love every single day, and you're looking over it because you're trying to look for the love in the people that don't show you love. Once you realize that you are so loved by the people who actually show you love, you're gonna forget about the people who don't show you love. And the second part of that, I'm so full of love, is that I realized that I have so much love to give, and because of all the love that I feel like I receive, I feel like I have more love to give. When you realize that there are people that love you, it makes you want to love other people just as much. It's really important to show your love as well and make sure that other people know that they're loved by you, because you never really know what's going on in someone's head, and if they don't feel loved, you going just a little bit extra to make that person know that you love them could be huge for the person that you're telling that to. So yeah, that's basically it. That's all of my takeaways from 2025 that I want to share with you. That's about it for this portion. I really think that reflecting and everything is so beneficial for the end of the year, because like I said, it's so easy to focus on the bad in the year, but when you sit down and you actually think about what actually happened this year, it's really good to think about all of the good that came from the year. That's basically it for this portion of the video. So I'm gonna go get ready to leave for the doctor, and then I'll kind of just vlog more of my day, obviously. But when I come back a little bit later, I will talk about how I'm planning for 2026 and how you can plan for 2026 without overwhelming yourself with a bunch of goals. So I will see you in just a little bit. Hello everybody. Update. I did not vlog at all. I just got back from the doctor. And my mom and I went to Ollie's, but we didn't actually get anything. And then we went to Dollar Tree, but we didn't actually get anything because the line was so long. And my mom was gonna get me Taco Bell, but then I didn't want it because I felt nauseous. I had to get my blood drawn because I'm being tested for celiac disease. These are my battle wounds. 1, 2, 3. Story time. My veins are really tiny, so they always have a really hard time finding veins in my arm. This was literally the worst experience I've ever had getting my blood drawn, ever. I got stuck in this arm. After she tried this arm, like in this arm, she looked through my whole arm. She tried this arm. She was like, okay, cool, like I'll draw it from here. I'm pretty sure this is where I got it drawn from last time that I got my blood drawn. So I'm like, okay, cool, like it'll be fine. It'll be okay. Like she found a vein. I just need to, like she stuck the needle. I'm like, okay, like I just need to get through this. It's fine. Well, then she goes, so you just stopped bleeding. Okay. So I stopped bleeding before, like, all of it was full. So that's cool. That's great. Okay. She was, like, moving the needle around in my, she was moving the needle around in my arm, and, it hurt really bad. Then she took it out of that arm. Okay, cool. one down. Then she was looking through my whole arm, and then she put the tie around here, and she said, turn over your hand. She was looking in my hand to get my blood from here. I've had my blood drawn from here once. It hurts so bad. If you've never gotten your blood drawn from your hand, count yourself as lucky. I started crying because I was so scared that I was gonna get it taken from my hand. I'm not even joking. But then, like, she couldn't find the vein in my hand, and I was like, thank God. Then she stuck it here in this band-aid, and she stuck the needle in, and she couldn't find a vein. So then she had to take the needle out. Hello? Yeah? Sorry. I had to talk to my mom. But yeah, so that's where this band-aid is from. And then she had to get the other phlebotomist to come over, and then she like stuck it in this one and took the rest of the blood from there because they needed 3 like capsules of blood because they were doing 2 tests, and I guess they wanted an extra or something. I don't know. Because I was doing a celiac test and a allergy test. Turns out a celiac test might not even work because I haven't been eating gluten, so I don't even know. I might have to go and get my blood drawn again. But yeah, so that's my story. I'm supposed to be leaving in like half an hour to go to Mia's house. I really wanted to film the other half of this video. I might pack and then film it and then leave. That's the update for now. I'm sorry, I really haven't been vlogging much, but to be fair, was just traumatized. So no, I'm just joking. I'm being really dramatic, but I'm staying at Mia's for 2 nights. So I need to pack 2 changes of clothes and then just like moisturizer and like my toothbrush. So it's not gonna be hard to pack. I'm gonna pack and I'll show you. Yeah. Do you want to say hi to the vlog?
Only if your Max is here.
My arms. I had to get blood taken.
You know Maggie doesn't have veins, so
I was literally just telling them about it.
She doesn't have veins. So
I had to get my blood taken, and this is what happened.
She's gonna die tomorrow.
Okay.
I need to fart, guys.
Give me a second. The doctor's calling me. Hello? Hi. Okay, so update. That call was about prescriptions that need to be picked up. So my mom is gonna pick them up around 2:30 whenever they get filled, and then I'm gonna go over to Mia's house. So I'm gonna pack really quick. Just in this bag, and then I have my backpack obviously, but I'm gonna pack and then I'll film hopefully quickly and then go to Mia's house once I get my prescription. So yeah, I think that's it for the update. Let's pack. Hello again and welcome to the 2026 planning portion of this video. I'm sitting on my bed and it's not made, so just don't mind that. I'm going to be talking about my 2026 goals and how I'm setting goals to not overwhelm myself in 2026 like I did in 2025. First, I'm going to talk about the video that I made last year. If you haven't watched it, you don't have to watch it to understand what I'm about to say, but if you'd like to, it is still up on my channel. I talked about going about goals in a softer approach and how it would be better for actually sticking to my goals and achieving the goals that I wanted to set for myself. I talked about not necessarily setting goals to start on January 1st and just starting now, starting whenever, and kind of doing it on my own time, not necessarily using the January 1st as a start date. And I also talked about how starting now is better than not starting. Basically, all of that I still agree with. Starting now is better than not starting at all. But in that video, I said all of that, and then I still set insane goals for myself, so I don't really know what the whole thought process was on that, but I just wanted to kind of talk about that because I've had this thought process for a while and I kind of wanted to like add on to that in this portion of the video. I still am very hesitant on calling all of these goals New Year's resolutions just because I feel like there's so much toxicity around resolutions and around what they are. I feel like everyone's always like, we're gonna make 2026 the best year ever, and this is gonna be the best, and 2025 is in the past, and now 2026 is all we're looking at, and it's gonna be the best year ever, and we're gonna set all these goals, and we're gonna be the best version of ourselves possible, and it's just gonna be amazing. And the thing is that like, yes, that's good mindset to have, but also if you set the unreasonable expectation that 2026 is gonna be the best year ever, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. I'm sorry, like you are. It's not guaranteed to be the best year ever. No year is guaranteed to be the best year ever. And I'm not saying that to be like a Debbie Downer, obviously, but I'm just saying that putting 2026 to the unreasonable expectation of being the best year ever is you're just setting yourself up for disappointment at the end of the year if it isn't the quote-unquote best year ever. And I think that that's because there's so much hope for the future because we don't exactly know what's going to happen. We know what happened in the past and we can kind of resent the past because we wish we did more. So because of that, we look towards the future for achieving goals because it hasn't happened yet. So we can say all these things like, oh, well, starting January 1st, I'm going to do this, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. But using that safety of the future is really, it just makes us feel better about ourselves for the things that we haven't achieved already. So in other words, we push things to the future because the future isn't tangible and the future seems endless, so we just push all our goals out into the future. But the reality is that the future is endless, or is not endless. There will be an end, is what I'm trying to say. And we don't know when it's going to be. So instead of pushing all of our goals to the future, we just need to start working on them now. And so with that, I'm going to be talking about setting goals and starting now rather than having the pressure of starting on January 1st. Because if you set all this pressure and you're like, on January 1st, I'm starting to do this. Number one, let's be so for real. January 1st, nobody wants to start good habits because you've been up all night and you've been partying, whatever, like doing whatever all night, and you're not going to wake up at 5 a.m. on January 1st and start your habits. It's just not going to happen. So setting the unreasonable expectation of on January 1st I'm going to start is, again, setting yourself up for failure, because then if you don't actually start on January 1st, you're just going to be mad at yourself and you're, again, just going to push your goals to the future even more. Oh, we'll start next week. Oh, I'll start on Monday. Oh, I'll start next month. And then eventually we'll restart the cycle all over again. Oh, I'll start in 2027. And the cycle just continues. So when you're planning your goals, it's really important to make SMART goals. Number one, so SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So using those are really going to help you make SMART goals, obviously, and it's going to help your goals not to be insanely unachievable and unsustainable. It's going to help you make goals that will actually fit into your schedule and you will actually be able to achieve with the life that you're currently living. And also with each of your goals, when you set a goal, I'm going to give you 3 questions to ask yourself, which I heard from a video. The video was by Madeline Mack, but I'm pretty sure she got it from a different person's video. I don't really remember, but they're not my own questions. But I've used these questions to set my goals, so I'm gonna share them with you. The first question is, where am I now? So if your goal is to work out 3 times a week, where are you now? How much are you working out right now? If it's none, then that's your answer. If it's once a week, then that's your answer. Just be honest with yourself. Where are you right now? The second question is, where is my desired destination? So what is your goal? Where do you want to be when you've achieved your goal? And again, if that's working out 3 times a week, then the answer would be working out 3 times a week and being consistent every single week with doing that. And then the last question is, what is my line of demarcation? So that just means what will tell me that I achieved this goal? Again, with the same example, it could be that you've gone to the gym 3 times a week for the past 4 months and you don't see anything really getting in the way of that habit that you've created. That could be your line of demarcation. Or it could be that you've lost a certain amount of weight, or that you have logged a certain amount of miles in running, something like that. But it is important for this one to be measurable, just because if you say something like, I want to feel good in my own skin, yes, that's a great goal to have, but it's not measurable, and that just leaves it up to not being able to actually know that you've achieved your goal. Because the fact of the matter is if you're saying, I want to feel confident in my own skin, that could change on a day-to-day basis, and using that as your line of demarcation is not necessarily always going to be the best thing to use, just because it can change day to day and it can be variable and all of these different factors could go into that. And so it's important for your goal to be measurable so that you can actually know that you've achieved the goal. And that's why measurable is one of the pillars of the SMART goals. And then the next thing I'm going to talk about is just setting reasonable and manageable goals. This is really what I've been talking about the whole entire time. The reason that we set unreasonable goals for ourselves is because when we set goals, we get a hit of dopamine. We get a dopamine hit and it makes us feel unstoppable just to set goals, because it makes us think of, oh, well, what can my life be like if I actually achieve these goals? And then that is your initial motivation to start the goal. Well, once you actually start trying to achieve the goal, you get bored, you get tired, you get annoyed, and you're not going to want to do it anymore because the dopamine hit of just setting the goal has worn off. So that's why your goal has to be reasonable and sustainable, so that you know that you won't just get bored of it or get annoyed by it after doing it for 2 weeks. And that's why it's important to, if you're just starting out working out, for example, it's important to set a goal of working out 3 times a week rather than working out 5 times a week right off the bat, because working out 3 times a week is much more reasonable and much more manageable than working out 5 times a week is. Maybe your ultimate end goal is to work out 5 times a week, but your goal for this year or this next 6 months should be to work out 2 or 3 times a week in the gym or whatever you're doing, because it once again kind of lowers the bar just a little bit, just the right amount, so that you're not setting yourself up for disappointment in the future if you don't achieve the working out from going from 0 to 5 days a week in the gym. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about for this portion is how I like to remind myself of my goals every single day, and that is with a vision board. This is a very common way that a lot of people use to remind themselves of their goals. Me personally, I like to have my vision board on my laptop home screen just because I'm on my laptop a lot, and that means that every single time that I open my laptop, I look at my vision board. One thing I want to do this year is obviously make my vision board, but whenever I finish or achieve something that is on my vision board, I will replace it with one of my own pictures, if that makes sense. So if I have a picture of a balanced plate on there, if I get to the point where I know that I've achieved my goal of having an 80-20 balanced whatever diet, then I can take a picture of one of my balanced plates that I make and put that in my vision board. And I know that then I've achieved my goal, because ultimately you're planning out what you want your life to look like. So in theory, your vision board should be what your life looks like. So that means that every time you achieve your goal, your life becomes more and more like your vision board. Hence, your pictures replacing the pictures on your vision board. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing this year, and I'm actually really excited to do it. And it's also going to still, in a sense, help me realize what my goals are and how manageable they actually are, because if I'm putting a picture on there and I'm like, I literally could never do that. Like in the next year, if I put a picture of me skydiving, what's the probability that I'm going to go skydiving in the next year? Close to none, actually. So why would I put a picture of skydiving on my vision board if I know that I'm not going to achieve it? So I won't put that picture on my vision board. You know what I mean? So it's really going to help me to also kind of ground myself and make sure that I know that whatever I'm putting on this vision board, I actually want to achieve and I want to replace with my own pictures, but I can't do that if the goal is unreasonable. So that's kind of all that I'm going to talk about for the 2026 portion, goal planning portion of the video. I'm going to leave soon. So that's it for this portion of the video. I will see you in just a little bit. It's recording.
Yes.
What's up, YouTube? Will you tell me if I run into something?
Okay, don't run into anything. Hi guys, welcome back
good.
to my YouTube channel. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Cassie Simone Harper. I'm so excited to be on Maggie's YouTube channel. I better be in the video. You better find me. We just got Gigi's. Oh, you're gonna bump into the power.
Wait.
Don't do that. We just got Gigi's and I told my dad to pick me up at 4. Look what time it is, not 4 o'clock. So now I have to go home because my dad's here. Boo. But it's okay because I got to see Maggie. And I'm really happy about it.
Mama.
That wasn't funny, by the way. That band-aid hurts so bad. Oh my gosh. God, it's on my hair. 3, 2, 1. That kind of hurt. Look at that. It hurts so bad right there. You're allergic to it.